The world is waking up to a new reality post the devastating pandemic that brought everything to a grinding halt. One of them is the rise of China as the undisputed new economic superpower. Yes, you heard that absolutely correct. According to IMF's World Economic Output 2020, China has now overtaken the US to become the world's largest economy. But along with this, here arises a question that several analyses have already told the same thing. Then what is new here? So for everyone's knowledge, let me tell you that before IMF's claim, all those reports claiming China as world's largest economy were under suspicion because the method used to calculate all the data were based on MER, market exchange research, which is a conventional method that gives less precise data. But now what IMF did is that it used PPP, purchasing power parity, to determine all the states and came to the conclusion that the China's figure of economy is 24.2 trillion while that of US is 20.8 trillion dollar. There is a huge gap of 3.4 trillion dollar. With PPP, IMF estimates China's economic output outmaneuvering the US by a huge margin. IMF is clear in its report. It says the PPP eliminates difference in price level between economies and thus compares national economies in terms of how much each nation can buy with its own currency at the price items sell for there. After the IMF, the CIA also decided to switch from MER to PPP in its annual assessment of national economies. The CIA Factbook notes that the official exchange rate measure of GDP is not an accurate measure of China's output. GDP at the official exchange rates MER GDP substantially understates the actual level of China's output vis-a-vis the rest of world in China's situation. GDP at purchasing power parity provides the best measure for comparing output across the countries. To tide over the inconsistencies with traditional method, the economist invented a method called the Big Mac Index to determine whether the currency were at a correct level or not. The fact is one, US dollar can buy nearly twice as much as China than in America itself, and the current market exchange rates hardly acknowledge that. According to The Economist, in 2019, China's worker produced over 99 trillion yuan worth of goods and services. America's produced 21.4 trillion dollar worth. Since 6.9 yuan brought a dollar last year on average, China's GDP was only 14 trillion dollar when converted into dollars at market rates. That was still very short of America's, but 6.9 yuan stretches further in China than a dollar goes in America. One example of this is McDonald's McD. It cost about 21.70 yuan in China and $5.71 in America. By that measure, 3.8 yuan buys as much as a dollar. But if that is the case, then 99 trillion yuan can buy as much as 26 trillion dollar, and China's economy is already considerably bigger than America's. China's economic growth rate has been growing at a mind-blowing rate of around 10% for almost the last 30 years. The country's military is rigorously pursuing its expansionist agenda, engaged in conflict with a number of neighbors, backed with a strong economic advantage. Bloomberg did its own calculation of the IMF data, which shows the proportion of worldwide growth coming from China expected to increase from 26.8% in 2021 to 27.7% in 2025. That is more than 15 and 17 percent points respectively higher than the US share of expected global output. According to IMF estimate, China will grow by 8.2% next year, down a full percentage point from IMF's April estimate, but strong enough to account for more than one quarter of global growth. So, with the conclusion, I just want to throw some question to you that why is the media not reporting this news? Why aren't the economists acknowledging this indisputable fact? Who gains from this silence? Then I once told you that the world can no longer deny China's superpower. It is the world's most powerful economy. A fact we can no longer brush up under the carpet. The country's rise to the top was inevitable, but no one had expected it to be so swift. The catastrophic COVID-19 pandemic that devastated countries around the world has made China stronger, which ironically was the place where the virus actually originated. With this, I want to give full stop to my words. Please don't forget to check it out our website whose link in the description box where we bring some much more deeper analysis of a number of geopolitical events. Hope you all have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notification of every single video we upload. Thank you and have a nice day.